All right, yeah. So here you are, um, in the dining room slash living area of Lady Fiona Wachter at the Wachter estate. As I said, that's where we kind of wrapped up last time. The party or the family had had a bit of an internal argument where things were said, um, things were discussed, apologies were half-heartedly uttered, and then they got marched here. So, yeah, that's kind of where we pretty much left everything off. So, what do you guys want to do? I think you kind of wrapped up everything here, huh?
I was about to ask if I could maybe administer some helping to the poor chap who got beat up on our behalf.
Lady Fiona will kind of just look at you and say, "Are you some sort of healer?"
I'm going to hold up the amulet of Ravenkind and just be like, I've recently become practiced in such things.
Oh, I see. You've fallen, Well, if you're going to choose to waste your time with such dead and long-forgotten religions, there's not a lot I can do to deter you. Do you have any actual medical experience, or are you just going to pray? Only if you're just going to sit there and pray over him, I'd rather you didn't bother, you see, because, it won't do any good.
I'm the one who keeps everyone here up through our
Up?
many dealings.
You mean awake?
From Death's Door.
Ah, so you administer healings to them.
Yes.
I suppose we could arrange for that. If you're willing.
Of course, I feel terrible that he was harmed on our behalf.
Okay. Well, she'll look at her other son, who has been scowling at you the entire time, and she says, escort him to your brother's room, will you? He goes, but mother... He said, do as you are told, boy. At once. This way. And he beckons you to follow him.
I will do so.
Okay.
I'm gonna see the house. I'm gonna see the house.
I'm gonna kind of trail behind you, like, can I watch you administer? I'm curious about your newfound religion.
Yeah,
He's
do we
gonna-
all?
you wanna be here.
Do we all go?
She will, if more than, like, if Trip goes, she says nothing. If is Gemma gonna, so she kind of like almost says something but doesn't when Gemma walks out the door.
I think Octavius might just kind of peek, but not actually go. Just be like,
Okay, like peek out the bottom of the doorway here.
yeah, and then
Okay.
turn around and just kind of come back and stand around here.
All right, let me move these three up then. Hold on.
Have you done this before? Will this be the first one?
This is the first time you guys have been up here. Okay. So when you get to the top of the stairs, he says very kind of gruffly to you, I will be watching every move you make. You hurt my brother in any way, I'll kill you.
I understand.
And he'll go down to this bottom door and then turn and gently open it in here.
I'll follow him in.
All right.
He's not going in.
Yeah, he'll go in, like, he opens the door for you, and then... Okay, I haven't put the corpse in the bed, but in the bed right here, you can see, with, like, a very badly administered bandage around his forehead, a violently bloodied and bruised Wachter boy. His left eye is, like, so bruised it's kind of like closed shut and swollen. His lip is split and busted. His cheeks are hugely puffy and red. Whoever worked him over did a very thorough job. Like, you haven't seen people in this sort of physical state probably other than when you used to watch your uncle, like, you know, get into, like, pugilistic street fights and stuff like that under the table, backroom brawling and stuff like, you know, back in Arconis.
Okay. First thing I'm going to want to try is, knowing it's probably not going to work what I was just told, and never having tried before, I do want to see if just like clasping the amulet and laying on hands will actually do anything. Because I don't know if I fully believe in it. I just really want it.
So if you have the layout, so you did take.
Yeah, I took.
You took a
level in paladin.
Okay. Then you will feel that you will kind of feel the energies flowing through your hands and out of your fingers, and like you could administer some kind of warmth coming out of your hands over the wounds. So yeah, you can definitely lay on hands.
So that'll get him 5 hit points back.
Which is quite significant for, for somebody that's pretty much on death's door. You do so, and almost immediately he's like, and you notice his eye is kind of like, the swelling around his eye is receded, the cheeks are less swollen, they're still reddening. He's obviously still showing the signs of somebody that was recently beaten, but he is conscious, and he kind of looks up and goes, where am I?
You're at home, you're safe.
Okay, with that, his brother will kind of go, Nikolai will go over to the side of the bed and goes, you're back home, in your own bed. What happened to you? We found you beaten, bloodied, on the streets. You said that somebody pummeled you and demanded that you tell them where the strangers were. I never saw the man. I was walking home from the tavern, and all of a sudden, a black Hessian bag was thrust over my head. I was dragged from the main road by someone with great strength, and they asked me where the Mildwood family was. And then, before I even had time to answer him, he beat me and struck me time and time again until I was unconscious. Seemed pointless. Didn't even have the length of time to tell him I did not know.
I'm gonna go ahead and just drop a regular healing spell on him too.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna put a healing wounds on him.
Alrighty.
Bad. No, it's not much. But,
Hey, again, that's a total of 11. He says, I feel so much better. I should rest now. And he says, his brother looks at him and says, yes, rest. We will talk more in the morning. With that, he'll kind of turn and look at the two of you. And then, more directly aimed at Trip, he says, well, I suppose this is the least you could do under the circumstances. Now, let's get back downstairs to Mother and tell her that your administration seemed to have had some positive effect. And with that, he'll kind of open the door and then, with a gesture, go, please.
I'll nod and walk through.
Okay.
Basically, just head out.
Yep. As soon as you're out the door, he's right out behind you. To the stairwell, please. This way.
I do take a long glance this way to just see what this is, just a hallway.
It's just a hallway. There's a door here, a door here. Again, for people that are watching the show, that is what they see. They're not actually seeing everything you necessarily see. That kind of light looks, at the end of the hallway is a window. You can kind of see straight out into the night. He says, come along. We mustn't dally.
Okay, I'm gonna take note of how many doors I see up here too.
Okay, do me a favor. Give me a perception skill roll, please, Gemma,
Sure.
as you pass this door here.
Okay. One.
First 20 of the night.
Okay,
Pretty
18.
good.
As you pass by the door, bearing in mind at this point when this happens, he'll be directly behind you, so you'd be here at that point.
Okay.
From behind the door, you hear a very faint. Which kind of sounds very much like a very loud purring cat that just like
No, it's
Okay.
the daughter.
meowed.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm gonna get out of there.
All right, y'all going downstairs?
Ooh.
All right, then I will drag you all down.
As we walk, I'm gonna slip this guy one of my gold pieces and just be like, next time we're at the bar, share a drink, okay?
He will look at you as you offer it to him, and then with utter contempt says, "I don't need your money, peasant."
No, of course not, but I feel bad is all.
And you should.
And
My
I do.
brother was assaulted because of you.
Well, at least keep the ale flowing.
I can do that without your coin.
Ah, very well.
Pleasant as always.
My money. I love this guy.
Your money's no good here. Okay, when you walk back in, she says, well...
Some deal of success. He's back awake.
Oh, excellent. Well, I do appreciate it. And, I hope you enjoy all the furniture that I had delivered to you recently. I'm sure we'll be visiting each other again, but the hour is quite late.
Yes, we appreciate the furniture.
We should be going then.
Yes, you should. Tarry not.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's get out of here.
Get to F.
Alrighty. Okay, so once you leave the Vactor house, where do you wish to travel? You going back to your house, or to the tavern, or what do you want to do?
I suggest we go home and make a quick game plan before.
Because it was quite late.
Yeah, I think
Alrighty.
home.
Let me find home.
It's where the heart is.
Was it empty house?
It's right here.
Empty house, there it is.
Right there,
Okay.
right in the heart.
Right here.
I love our house.
Home is where the foyer is.
The gallery foyer.
Your stupid house with all its labels. Because you hadn't figured it out yet.
Oh,
Okay.
Powder room.
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, half of the furniture that's put here,
such a waste.
other than all the crates that the furniture arrived in, the only rooms you actually have even remotely got any semblance of order is the kitchen, aka Gemma's lab, the reception/study, and Gemma's bedroom.
Oh, that's right. There's also a skeleton cat.
Yes,
That's something to know
and
about.
Gemma has a skeleton cat that seems to have
Memorial.
That was
Showed
why
up.
We started fighting to begin with.
That was it. I forgot. That was the trick.
Yes, and Seth still doesn't know. Okay.
Oh, he still doesn't know. All right.
No,
Yeah,
'cause,
that's right.
secret.
You guys
Here we go.
got me out. Yeah.
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah, so when I get in there, I look a little, I look shifty and go, I'll be right back. And I do run
me
to
too.
my room just
I'll
to
help.
see that
With-
if Amoria's still
So
there.
anyway, what do we think,
Come on,
Seth,
Octavius.
about
Gemma's room, which is
strategy?
basically everybody's room except Seth's.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Seth,
Seth, I want to know your strategy plan. What is your idea?
Let's
of
all
what
retire
do?
to the study. Hey,
As I get
boys.
swarmed, I'm gonna like,
Let's all take a load off in the
Okay.
study, huh? And talk.
Okay.
talk shop?
Seth, you're going to hate it. I hated it too.
what?
Dad, I'm just gonna tell
I guess we can
No,
remove the
no.
symbols from the rooms that actually have
Can I get
relevance
off this
now.
welcome mat and sit down?
Yeah,
Of
let's
course,
go
of
in. Let's
course.
go in here. Let's go in here. It's the only room we've actually furnished.
I'm gonna sit down and like, kind of, that lazy man back halfway down the back of the sofa, legs sprawled in front.
I'm gonna kind of start like stoking at whatever I
Stoke
can
the
to make
fire
that
and get it
fire.
going again.
Yeah,
Good.
get it going. I'm just gonna be like, too bad this isn't one of them Durst fireplaces. Just starts itself right up.
Oh
So,
yeah, the ones at the Durst Manor. Yeah.
This sofa's pretty comfortable. I could even sleep here.
That's where I've been sleeping. You want to trade rooms?
Do you want to trade rooms? I have a dinky mattress in my room.
But yeah, I mean, I'll put in some barrels and we'll get brewing, you know. Anyway, now Dad, he needs to know. So I'm just gonna tell him in the way
He
that
doesn't
he likes
need to
being
know. There's nothing
told.
to tell. What are you talking
This
about?
This isn't beneficial. If we try hiding things from him, it's just gonna upset him. And
Nobody's
I mean,
hiding
the
anything.
idea was to prank him, but I don't think we're in a stable environment to do so. The kids might still be doing something to that end, though. So I'd rather he knows, so
I
that
just think
he can at
you're.
least play along.
I don't know what you're talking about, Seth. If you kids got up to something that I am not aware
Remember
of, that's,
remember those cats that we saw in the attic of the other manor that we burned down?
Cats, you say? That's so strange. I don't remember any cats.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Douglas
It's-
also doesn't know apparently.
Oh, that's so weird.
They were like skeleton monster things. Remember those, Seth?
Skeleton monster things. Great way to break it to him.
You punched a bunch of them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And how they kind of all like went limp after we kind of beat up that one conjurer guy and killed him and then burned his house down.
I don't know what that word means.
The magic guy.
Oh,
That bastard kid, yeah.
yeah. In the attic when the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing exploded, and
With the cat,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
I
there with the
remember that
cats,
too.
yeah.
Of course.
Same
I'm
Gemma.
gonna look at Douglas like, "What are you smoking? Like, what are you up
So-
to?"
Gemma recently came into contact with a cat of that
What?
nature and seems to have pretty decent control over it as if it were just a regular pet. And we don't actually think anything crazy is going on with it other than it's a cat. It does regular cat bullshit. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were going to try and prank you with it or something because it's spooky and, it will get you. But then also, please don't punch the cat. It's upset enough as it is after I put it in a bag.
I punch people,
The very
not animals.
first time I'm hearing of this.
Absolutely.
Douglas, you're not fooling anybody.
Obviously, Gemma, you can hear the whole conversation from the other side of the door.
Yeah,
So.
the door is like open and I'm just like
Gemma's lurking out there.
Yeah.
Let me lay eyes on this creature for the very first time.
Hello.
Oh, hi Gemma.
I believe the cat's out
Hello.
of the bag, as they say. Well, this
Oh.
is
It was all for that.
new
It was
member
all for
of the
that.
family, Femorius.
Memorious.
Memorious, that's right.
Long for femur.
Yes.
Long.
It is the longest bone. You made one even longer.
On
But,
Femorius.
I mean-
Say hello.
Well, I don't know. You kids gonna take care of it and
Feed it.
feed it or whatever it needs?
I will not be feeding it.
Marrow.
Does it poop? Do we need a
So?
litter box for it, or
It
is
shits
just-
fossils,
Instead of a litter box, we could just make a little plot of dirt and like a tombstone, and it would be
Oh,
like
so
the same.
cute.
Yeah, it just curls up in there.
I sit up as I'm looking at it on the floor on the rug.
Okay, it's looking up at you.
I'm like doing that classic man stance with my hands on my knees as I'm looking peering down at it. I mean, considering we have been dealing with undead friends killing a giant bird,
Oh, yeah.
this is nothing, right?
Yeah, definitely. Nothing.
I mean, if
I-
it attacks me, I'll obviously punch it. But you're not gonna punch me, right?
Can't
I'm
punch
gonna
it.
like peer down, like top down to
Okay, it just kind of tilts its head to the left and then to the right, like it's contemplating.
Oh, you're gonna attack me, aren't you? I feel it. Okay. If it doesn't hurt me, I won't hurt it. Deal?
Right. And
Great.
Given your nature and its stature, maybe let it attack you more than once because it's probably not going to hurt you much if it does. Cats
So-
do that anyway.
So this is what you guys have been trying to hide from me?
No.
There were
No.
concerns.
I look over my shoulder at it as it goes on the back of
Yeah,
the
it jumps up. It kind of goes around the side and then jumps up onto the back of the thing and just kind of like sits there as it's doing this number on the top of the couch with its claws.
Oh no, bad kitty, no,
It's
bad.
making biscuits.
Hey.
Well, since
Gotta
we're
get in a
gathered
scratching
here,
post.
I thought we could go through this methodically and take out everything we found of Strahd's and just review everything quickly before we have to, meet him.
Yes,
How does that
that's
sound with everyone?
a great idea.
Yeah, no, I'm on board.
Okay.
All right.
You don't think that we should hurry?
Well, we should, but
Well, we
it's
should.
late
but
now.
we could try to do this quickly, perhaps. Let's see.
Leave it
Let's
daybreak?
just everybody pull out everything we've
It's quite a
found
trip
of
to Strahd's as well. Because if you remember, the castle was like looming over Barovia, the village of Barovia. That was the other end of the area that you came from, so it's a couple of days to get there. Yeah. Although he did tell you that at some point he would send a carriage to fetch you, he just didn't actually say when or where.
Right.
Well, we talked to the carriage guy by the lake, but that's not the place.
Correct.
Right? I mean, that's
the
message.
He had told
Yeah.
you that whenever you decide to head that way, he would be aware, and then he would come and meet you. As I said, he just didn't specify where exactly he'd meet you.
That's not creepy at all. Okay.
He's the ancient, he's the land. I don't think we
Yeah.
can pass. No.
Start out by taking Strahd's invitation to dinner out.
Okay.
Well, here was the original invitation here. Just reading through this.
It's the wrong Strahd letter. I was like, oh, this is mean. There it is.
Okay, yeah, so his letter said, "To the new sojourners of my beloved lands and Mildwood family, I begin by asking your most humble forgiveness. In my late correspondence, I have been distracted and busy since I have left you a welcome basket many days ago. It is with my most humble apologies that I now acquiesce to my hostly duties and hereby invite you to dine with me at Castle Ravenloft. I understand you have been away from Vallaki, and I am sure you need time to rest and prepare, so I have instructed my chamberlain to await your reply, with which evening in the near future would be convenient for our delightful convocation. My chamberlain awaits you north of town, on the Lake Zarovich Road. Your most humble servant, Strahd von Zorovich." And his chamberlain was indeed there. You met with him, and then that's when he basically said, hey, you can take some time, but don't take too much time.
I remember I didn't get a good vibe from that fellow.
No.
Yeah, he was outrageously bad. He was like the worst guy you could probably imagine if you were to imagine like the worst guy. That was him.
All right. What else we got?
Oh, who has the tome?
I take
That
the
would
tome
be
out.
Gemma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here is his tome.
We've looked this one over, right?
Yep. So basically the tome was Strahd's memoirs, and then stuffed in the back was some scrawlings of some arcane magics.
So I've studied this. I've learned these spells.
Do you want me to run that again, seeing as if you're going to go and see him, it might contain some pertinent information?
I wouldn't mind.
I'd be
Okay,
good.
probably wouldn't hurt for chat either. Okay, let's see. Where is it? I'll shut that for a second. And it is going to be an effect. Believe. Actually, no, it's not going to be an effect. It's going to be. see. I apologize. Let me find this real quick. Well. Ah, there it is on its own thing. Here you go. I am the ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior. I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a just god, but the war years and the killing years wore down my soul as the wind wears stone into sand. All goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth and strength gone, and all I had left was death. My army settled in the valley of Barovia and took power over the people in the name of a just God, but with none of a God's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in the castle Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful. I hated him for both. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone above all others. A rare beauty who was called perfection, joy, and treasure. Her name was Tatiana, and I longed for her to be mine. I loved her with all of my heart. I loved her for her youth. I loved her for her joy. But she spurned me. Old One was my name to her. Elder and brother also. Her heart went to Sergei. They were betrothed. The date was set. With words she called me brother, but when I looked into her eyes they reflected another name, death. It was the death of the aged that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it, but I had squandered mine. The death she saw in me turned her from me, and so I came to hate death, my death. My hate is very strong. I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with death, a pact of blood. On the day of the wedding, I killed Sergei, my brother. My pact was sealed with his blood. I found Tatiana weeping in the garden east of the chapel, and she fled from me. She would not let me explain, and great anger swelled within me. She had to understand the pact I made for her. I pursued her. Finally, in despair, she flung herself from the walls of Ravenloft, and I watched everything I ever wanted fall from my grasp forever. It was 1,000 feet through the mists. No trace of her was ever found. Not even I know her final fate. Arrows from the castle guards pierced me to my soul, but I did not die, nor did I live. I became undead forever. I have studied much since then. Vampire is my new name. I still lust for life and youth, and I curse the living that took them from me. Even the sun is against me. It is the sun and its light
I fear the most, but little else can harm me now. Since I took power from the three, I am all but invincible. Even a stake through my heart does not kill me, though it holds me from movement. But this sword, that cursed sword that Serkai brought, I must dispose of that awful tool. I fear and hate it as much as this sun. I have often hunted for Tatiana. I have even felt her within my grasp, but she escapes. She taunts me. She taunts me. What will it take to bend her love to me? I now reside far below Ravenloft. I live among the dead and sleep beneath the very stones of this hollow castle of despair. I shall seal shut the walls of the stairs that none may disturb me.
Well, you read that well. You sounded exactly like Strahd there, Gemma.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, and then I
Great,
woke up
great.
Good
and
ass
your
reading.
thing.
Douglas is just like,
Shut, slam the book. Well, now we know where he sleeps. Of course, we know
very good, honey.
Oh, amazing.
Great impression.
and the sword. And I look toward Trip. I think
Oh, yeah. No, that was it.
you. So you believe that is the one?
Oh, it's got to be.
Can you pull that out?
I don't
Okay.
have it. I gave it
What?
to...
Who?
I felt like it belonged in Gillem's hands after, like, his, beloved was just kind of, like, put into... Yeah.
What? You
God.
gave the sword away?
It's in the hands of a gay lover. The magic sword is in the hands of his gay lover.
But
Um.
aren't they dead?
Yeah, yes. But
Ish.
Well, where did it go?
also, they are dear friends and seem content with helping us. Given we make it back from dinner, we could maybe ask them for some help. I did talk to them about maybe strategizing some kind of charge we could all take, but they wanted to know more about the lay of the land, so if we scout a little during dinner, I'm going to look at Octavius, and get a
Yes.
good sense of where things might be, the Skull of Argynvost. Then we
Wait.
might be able to get them to even help fight against him.
Sure. I could do that.
Next time you find a very invaluable sword, I would appreciate it if you just give it to it.
Well, it was just in the heat of the moment and the
A
conversation around it,
gay
and
lover.
I mean, not mine. He's too
Phony.
person, honestly.
What? Huh? What?
You weren't thinking.
No, it wasn't.
But
But I don't know.
I'm sure you had your reasons. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Alright.
and again, like, I'm sure we could maybe talk to them about riding bone horses into battle. I don't know what they have.
Bone horses. Well, I have a
Uh,
bone cat, so likelihood of a bone horse is high.
I don't think a bone horse would be able to hold me.
Well, we don't get the bone horses. They get the bone horses. They're bone people.
Yeah,
We would have normal
the
flesh
bone people
horses.
would ride the bone
Flesh,
horses for sure.
and we would ride the flesh horses.
Yeah, we need flesh and muscles for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Other
So
notes?
you're sure that that's the sword. So then we just have the two other. Now let's talk about the cards. We got
Oh, right.
the first card, the Tome of Knowledge here. Hold up.
So yeah, what did all the cards say? Repeat. Go ahead and throw those out.
We got this one. Yeah, so I hold up the Tome of Strahd and I say knowledge. This is the one where the wizard stamps and mashes alongside the red dragon, sand cased by wood. You shall find an item of knowledge that will help you in understanding your enemy. I believe this is this. So
And
check.
that was the Tome of
Mark.
Strahd, and you found it
Found it
in the bottom of a
vineyard.
barrel that was filled with sand. So it seems
Yes.
pretty obvious that that was correct, right?
Yes. Trip, you have the holy symbol of.
Oh yeah, I have
Ravenkind.
I'm gonna pull out the symbol of Ravenkind.
You
I
tried
got
it
this one.
yet?
No.
And what
Well,
did the
it likes me
card
enough.
say that went with that?
Yes, so I take it out. Say, powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope, a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. Look to its highest peaks.
And
That's
you
what we
found that at
top
the
of the tower.
tallest tower at the Silver Dragon Argynvost's house, so that
Yep.
seems pretty accurate.
Now here's the third card. This is Octavius' card.
Yes.
Power and strength, a weapon of vengeance, a sword of light, a faceless god. He awaits us at the end of a long and winding road deep in the mountains. Find this weapon of power. It'll help us face our enemy.
Uh,
Do you think maybe they're talking about?
Was he a faceless god? No,
I
no,
mean-
not you.
Oh, are
No.
you sure?
and we didn't walk any like long road.
Would you have considered?
mean,
the
every
to
road is
Argynvost
long.
toasting
You've been
and
on a lot of
Keep
long roads.
going.
Well, in the mountains, was Argynvost in the mountains?
It was.
This whole journey was a long time, and I just found out that I am this powerful weapon. So technically, at the end of this road, we have found me.
No,
Well,
we
but
found.
we had you the whole time though.
Well, but I mean, you found who I really am meant to be. You know.
Oh. Yeah, maybe that could be it. Right, guys? Maybe
that could
that could
be.
be it.
Just spitballing here.
Yeah,
I'm
that might
starting
be
to
it.
think that maybe I've inspired you too many times.
Thought it was Sir Vladimir. That was the one.
Hmm.
No, it could very well be Octavius too.
It could
Maybe
be.
there's two. Maybe there's
Maybe.
two of them.
I
Maybe
Haven't you
prophecy just-
seen? Have you seen Buffy?
doesn't make
An
any
angel?
sense.
Yeah.
There are
Now
two
that
chosen
the
ones.
prophecy would be about us.
Maybe there's a chosen twos.
Could be about me.
Well,
Ah,
until we know, it's always good to be on the cautious side and just assume that there's two, right?
No, you're right. It was a stupid idea.
No, it's not stupid.
And I
definitely
have this
powerful.
thing. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if this has anything to do with anything. And I'm gonna pull out the horn from the whole like winter realm that we were in.
oh yeah.
And be like,
Oh,
I have
right.
no idea what this does.
Blow
Oh
it.
yeah.
I'm
Pop
kind
it.
of scared to blow it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was where the lady in white basically you showed up and she told you could blow the horn to get back to where you was
Yeah.
at, right? Yeah.
Never mind.
So maybe you could do some finger wagging at this. Do you think maybe?
Mm-mm.
Well, not, you know what I mean.
I can. Here, sure, I can. Here, let me look at it.
You know how to do that. I feel like we should really know everything we have.
Yeah,
I'm
if
assuming
I-
this is magical.
I will. Identify it, Gore.
Okay. So yeah, you hand it over to her, to your sister, and she can
Mhm.
start to examine it. Okay. All right. So bottom line, what Gemma can tell you is if you attune to it, you can blow the horn, and wherever you are, if you state who you want to hear the horn, no matter where they are, they will hear it. So you could be 1,000 miles away, and if you blow that horn and name a person, they will hear that sound and know where it came from.
God, that would have been good to know.
Oh. Wow.
You know, it's common to get magic items and do absolutely nothing with them for like a month or two.
Or a year.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Who do we want?
It's the ultimate signaling device.
I mean, now that I'm thinking about my other plan, I mean, had I told the undead people, they're like, hey, I will blow this horn when it's time to, march or whatever.
Yeah, but we have to get the skull back first, right?
Right.
Oh,
means we
yeah,
have to
the,
get
the
there.
one in the one in Castle Ravenloft, you mean?
yeah. So for those catching up, when they went to Argynvost, they were basically told by the leader, who was pretty much manic depressive, that he wasn't interested in helping. He forbade anybody to try to kill Strahd because he wants Strahd to suffer as long as he possibly can. But the slightly less dour knight told them that originally the bones of Argynvost, which is the silver dragon, as in literally a silver dragon, who in human form created and built the Knight to the Silver Dragon, and Argynvost Holt. Basically, his bones rest up there, but apparently his skull somehow is in Castle Ravenloft, and if they could get that skull and bring it back and put all the bones back together and light the beacon, then it would be some kind of shining beacon of hope for the entire Valley of Barovia. And ultimately a good thing.
Thank you for that. Now I just need to figure out how to attune to it. I guess I'll just play around with it since it doesn't take me back to Iceland.
Play it a tune.
Yeah, so bottom line is, in 5th edition, magical items, the vast majority of them, you have to basically spend an hour studying them, becoming one with them to attune to it. You're allowed to attune to a certain number of magical items total at any one time.
Okay.
Yep. So basically it just means play with it for an hour and you're good.
Okay.
Play with your horn for 1 hour.
Okay. I can do that.
Anyway, now we have the last two cards. A wandering child who has left her home, who walks dark halls. The innocence will be our key to the evil's eventual fall. Find this child. They will help us. We have found no such child yet. So that one
Maybe,
is a
allegedly.
question mark. Allegedly, and then is not you, Octavius. Sorry to say.
That we know of.
Everything is Octavius. All roads point to Octavius.
And the last one, enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead us to him and reveal the place of our final battle. Look to great heights, find the beating heart of his domain. He will be waiting nearby. Ooh.
I'm thinking that might be inside his house where he sleeps on the stairs, maybe, based on what he wrote in the book.
Yes, it looked like it did say the entrance was under the stairs or something, and it was
what about this? And I'm just gonna pull out the spear that I have.
Oh yeah.
Is this maybe something
What?
helpful or
Where did you
not?
get
Back
that?
at the grove thing that we
Oh.
did. Remember?
Did you just find it?
Well, it talked to me. Told me
What?
I could.
Huh?
Yeah. Said I'd like gain a lot of power and control if I wielded it.
What?
So I did.
Father,
What?
it's interesting. Can I see?
Sure. Here.
Can
put
we
it
see?
down.
Can we see? Okay, let's take a look at this. I'll identify that if it's not been identified yet.
Okay. Yeah, you can identify the blood spear. So basically the blood spear of
Wow.
Kavan. Bottom line is it is a +2 magical spear, which means it does +2 damage and +2 to hit. But anytime you reduce a target to 0 hit points or below with it, it will heal you 2d6 points of damage. So basically, it's a vampiric spear, and it will suck the blood from whoever you stab with it and give it to you. Very kind, very nice thing.
Oh,
Dad, this is incredible.
Kind of awesome, yeah. It makes you like a good fighter.
Are you good
It
with the
is?
spear?
I think.
And basically, it's a +2 spear for anybody that uses it, but only somebody that it chose can gain the special power that gets a additional, gets the 2d6 temporary healing. So technically, anybody can attune to it, and it becomes a +2 spear, but only Douglas, being of Ranger class, can get the full benefits of it.
Did I do a good job?
It's such a sweet
Sounds like
spear.
it, yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of nice.
And you said it talked to you,
It did.
so it likes you.
I think so. I mean, it didn't really like pay me a compliment or anything like that. It just
Does it say anything about wanting to kill any of us?
okay. Hold on, let me check.
It's not saying much of anything now.
Not really saying much. Hold on.
Do you remember what it did say?
Sure don't, because that was months and months ago.
Well, considering as it wasn't that long ago in character terms, I'll
Thank you.
tell you, shall I?
Okay, I will quote it.
I'll
and write it
remind
down this
you.
time.
Let's see. It said... So yeah, you heard a whisper, and a voice carried on the wind said to you, "Long have I awaited for one who is worthy. My spear hungers for blood. Retrieve it and rule these mountains in my stead, just like the mighty warriors from the early days of the Whispering Wall." So clearly a nice thing.
It sounds just like all of my personal heroes growing up.
So yeah, I could just basically rule the mountains, if that's
I can
Good to
rule
see
the
you guys.
mountains.
Wait, Dad.
So
Dad,
that's
did
a
you
thing.
Dad, did you
Yeah.
say rule the mountains? Because now, do you remember the story we learned about the three Fey goddesses? One held dominion over the mountains,
oh, maybe it's that one.
and then we learned that if we can restore the power to the three Fanes and give them back what he stole, it will diminish Strahd's power. Do you think this? Do you think this?
Oh, you think I
Oh.
gotta like give this spear back to somebody?
Maybe.
Well, that brings
Why
up a
didn't he say
point.
that instead?
We don't know much about the Fanes other than
Because, cryptic shit.
there's a couple mentions in this
Still a good
book
question.
that I'm going to pull out, the one that I got from...
And you also had that poem that...
yeah. But that one's all like
So-
lovey-dovey and it doesn't really get into it.
Yeah.
How's it go? Something. She's got dark hair, I guess. There it is. I mean, I'm basically be fumbling with my book trying to find it
Okay.
because I had him write it out for me.
Well, the poem itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is my lady, the maiden fair, with eyes like stars and raven hair? There she stands in a ring of stone, where she waits for me and me alone. That's a recurring thing, by the way. The ring of stone. I think there's the Fane's places of power. They're going to be stone rings, and some kind of ritual needs to be done. Through the forest and glade, wood so deep, where truths are known and secrets keep, she begs a gift, and give I do, for never was there one so true. If there was one to give the spear to, that might be it. Sounds like it's in the woods somewhere. Where's the lady cunning and cold, whose wit does bite like winter's cold, where she stands in a ring of stone. But we were in winter world. We didn't see any stone rings. I don't... there's one in a mountain.
And wait, what didn't
There's one in a swamp.
yours talk about a mountain again, Dad? What
Okay,
was
so
it?
yeah, no, the cold one's on the mountain, I think.
Yeah, something about a mountain and
So there's a
ruling-
forest, a mountain, and a swamp.
See.
Swamp one sounds lovely.
Not a
She's
huge fan of
asking us to
swamps,
die,
it
I
makes
think.
my
Where death comes slow and creeping fog. He begs my heart and die I do.
Who's the Douglas? Give me a knowledge nature roll, Ranger boy.
Okay. Nature, you say?
Yeah.
Not nurture?
Do you have a nurture skill?
Well, yeah, I'm a dad, so.
Okay,
obviously.
so your passive is what? 10?
A million.
22. Okay. So yeah, it'll suddenly strike you. Wait a minute. We've seen a stone circle. That was at the top of the damn hill where I found the spear.
So does that help?
Yeah.
We have
no,
our
I didn't
circle.
think about that. That might be one.
Wait, a stone circle could be
Here in a circle.
just spitballing here, but a stone circle.
Would that be through the forest glade and wood so deep where truths are known and secrets keep? Or would that be... Oh no, that one doesn't sound like the mountain one. Wait, through hill and mountain and highest peak, where storms rule strong and life is bleak.
There was lightning striking
There was
down.
lightning striking all of those stones, so that might be that.
Maybe you're onto something.
Yester hill, through hill.
Right.
He
Yes.
begs a trial and try I do. I don't know what the trial would be. Maybe we have to go back and kill all the twig blights. Maybe they're already dead. I don't know. That dad was pretty mad, and I've seen a mad dad. Mad dads can do a lot.
That's right.
Especially lycanthropic ones.
One make
Puffs
that
out his
angry,
chest.
please. Wow.
Cool and sly with laughter.
Really want to go do this thing now, but I know we gotta go see Strahd.
Never ceases to have unwinding things to keep you busy, does it?
He will probably know about it, though. Like, if we did return this, I don't know. He'd probably feel his power diminish, so I don't want him to
Yeah,
know
we'd
that
want to do this.
yet.
We'd want to do this after visiting him here,
Survive.
getting away from him for sure.
And also, if you're worried about him feeling weaker, you would want to do all of them at the same time, more or less, right?
Yes.
I would imagine so. All right, so we just keep track of that.
We look out for stone circles.
We have one, Seth.
Yeah,
Well, I know,
we know,
but
we know
the
one.
others.
Oh,
We know of one.
Need 2 more.
That's good.
Yeah,
more.
just on our journeys, we keep our eyes open.
All right. Anybody else have anything they found? Our whole time here in Barovia.
Or gave away, or...
I found that I'm
looking through my bags.
I'm obscenely rich because I have more silver than most.
Oh yeah, that's a good note. Just reminding everyone, silver is worth a lot here.
Oh, I found this silver-tipped hairbrush. I pulled it out.
well, that's
Cool.
good.
Where'd you get that?
Oh,
Where did you get
Rose's home, I believe.
The murder home? You stole it, didn't you? Yeah,
No,
of course you did.
It spoke to me just like the spear did.
I mean,
Yeah.
we left the deed. We could have had the whole house. Just saying.
Oh, and
Being
we
said it was a
also
horribly cursed house. I wouldn't.
we
want
also
it.
have that little assassin ghost boy. Or
Oh
man.
yeah, that's another thing. We have
Yes.
Gemma has that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with a little rhyme that you can say and basically give it a target, and allegedly he
Did you-
claims he'll go murder for you.
You aren't going to say the rhyme, but you do know it.
We have it in our notes somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
somewhere. We know it. We know.
We know it.
You
You're going
hope.
to want to keep that one on.
Keep that. You might want to tattoo that on your arm or something. Alrighty. Okay, so if you have resided to go visit Castle Ravenloft, do you have any preparations you want to do for the journey, or anything you wish to strategize, think about?
Might not want to bring all of the things that we need directly to him.
You think they'll be safe here? There's no way he doesn't know we live here.
Well, I mean, we were going to make, and I'm going to point to the corner of the room, like a secret little hatch there, kind of like at the Thirst Estate where they have their secret little thing. So
We were?
I was thinking we could maybe pry up some of the floorboards and hide some stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that and then put a crate over it.
And then nobody's going to bother looking at it, yeah.
And the rug, and then the couch on top of the crate.
All the furniture in one tiny.
Oh, so like
And a
right
note
underneath
that
where we're
says,
sitting.
"Don't
Yeah,
move
that'd be
this
good.
stuff and look underneath." Yeah.
That'd be,
Scratch
that'd
marks
be a good,
across the floor
I think, a
from
good
being
spot. We
dragged.
I just, we wouldn't want anyone to find...
Stuff it down the arm of a couch. That's where most things end up anyway.
Oh, so we don't
Devil's
want
spell
we,
book.
we don't. Oh, are we taking that with us?
What?
What is that?
Femorius.
Oh,
One, she or he wants to cut. What is it?
It wouldn't leave the house last time, if you remember.
Oh, right. Well, he. Ooh. He'll either
House
guard
kitty?
it or he'll tell everyone where it is.
So
Could it,
hide
could
it.
it be the first one?
I don't know, Dad.
so,
I
so,
like I like the fellow, but I don't know his intentions.
Oh.
so we should hide the items without him in the room, and make sure it's not in a place that he could claw it up.
What if he just smells it?
Do they smell?
House.
Do cats smell? Yes.
Does he have a nose?
Does that cat
Okay.
smell?
Well,
Does this
It
If
has
we're
a
going-
hole in its face.
all right. If we're going by that logic, he shouldn't be doing any of the stuff he's doing. Okay, so we don't really know how bone cats work.
But I mean, also, does
Someone
the
quote
item
that.
smell?
We don't know how bone cats work.
Like
finally someone
my
else.
my actual question, Doug, was: does that amulet thing smell? Like
Or any of it.
Well, but like
We've touched it. It has our scent on it. It could be. I don't know how it works. He could be listening right now through this cat.
oh, so now we're okay with that.
No, I'm just saying we have to be cautious. We don't know who or what we can trust, right?
He is our cat now.
He's definitely our kitty cat, and
For thick nor thin, thick or thin, he's your cat now.
just saying we
Not
should be
leaving.
wary of, who we tell things to, just in case. We don't really know. We've
So
been tricked before, Seth. The lies. We've been tricked before.
oh,
So I just don't want to go down that road again. if
I got heartburn all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So let's do all that, and then early tomorrow morning head out. So
Okay.
yes, no,
yeah, no, yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yes, no, yes.
Yes, no, yes.
No means
That's
no.
clear. That clears everything up. Okay.
The family agreement. Yes. No. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So what exactly are you guys wanting to stash? And is that what your plan is? You're going to cut some floorboards out and make like a little...
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
Not I.
Figured Trip and Dad could have some
Yeah. We've fixed a floorboard or two in
Father-son
our day.
building time.
Okay. Yeah, I would allow either a sleight of hand or probably survival to work for either of those things. If you wish to, both of those kind of skills might lend to such a task. And where are you creating your little thing?
I was thinking in the corner of the room here.
So you want to make like a secret floorboards underneath in the back corner of the living room? Okay.
Yeah. there's enough stuff in here where you'd be looking at the stuff normal. And if you were trying to find something, you'd be like, oh, what's with the couch? What's under the rug? And you would be like, what's in the corner that has nothing?
Okay.
All right.
So if Dad's helping, do I get an advantage on that? Or?
If the two of you are going to do it together, whoever rolls will get I'll give advantage to for sure.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do it then.
All right, go ahead. You got this strip. Remember, just like I taught you.
It's time.
20. Yeah, you do a pretty neat and tidy job.
Very good.
You know, you're able to kind of rub some of the sawdust back into where the cut marks are and smooth it all over and smudge a bit of dirt so nobody can plainly see the cuts and where everything is. So what do you want to hide down there specifically? In other words, what is not going with you on your little trip? Just so that I can be sure to remind you, should you decide to need it, that you don't have it.
Don't be a jerk.
I'm going to say the holy symbol of Ravenkind probably shouldn't go with us. It'll look like an offense right out the gate.
Yeah.
It'll smell bad to him, you know?
For the blood spear also?
I feel like the blood spear matters less to him. It's not like a direct personal tie. You can probably have the blood spear.
But he knows he took it from those people, though.
I think
He'd probably just be intrigued that you have it.
Okay.
But what was that stuff?
Well, I think you should take it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep it.
What about the book?
From the straw,
The tome stays here.
Okay, so the tome is
I feel like
staying
you could
here.
just like sense it if I was holding.
I'm going to want
Book!
to on the way, so I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep my personal religion book.
Good night, in times. Take it easy. Okay.
I'll keep the horn. I don't think that means anything to him. I'm gonna leave Argenvoss's final journal entry so I don't have any evidence of being at Argenvost in case we need to hide that later.
Okay. Cool beans. Anything else you guys want to discuss, plan, or do you want to get a good night's sleep and hoof it in the morning?
I'm good. Ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I think so.
And I guess nobody really knows exactly what to expect when you get there, so it's kind of hard to pre-plan for an eventuality that you don't know, right?
All we know is we don't want him to take our good stuff.
Other than
Always prepared.
the second we see him, we all attack immediately.
We all come in with a bunch of steaks and garlic.
Like the angry mobs that he's defeated time and time. Oh yeah, no, that doesn't sound so good, does it?
Not our famous Amos.
You need a pitchfork. Gotta have pitchforks if you're going to be part of an angry march.
Yeah.
And torches. So, alrighty. Then you all get a good night's rest. Heal yourselves up, replenish your energies. And on the morrow, what's the plan? As you know, it is going to be a few days hike.
Yeah.
I
Traveling
made
them days.
some eggs for the kids with extra garlic. Eat up, babies. It's gonna burn a little bit, but I think it'll be good for
It'll
you.
be worth it.
Your extra strength.
And here
That's
are
side
your
effects.
garlic
worth it.
capsules to take every morning.
And we're going to Ravenloft.
Okie dokie. All right. Well, let's take you to the map. The map.
Map girly.
And let's see here. Zoom out. Okay. So yeah, here is the big old map. Now, the village of Barovia, what you traveled from originally, you entered, where you entered Ravenloft, you came through these gates all the way to the far east. And here is the village of Barovia. And there, looming over top in the mountains and the hills, is Castle Ravenloft. So your previous journey, if you recall, you basically went across the bridge, you followed this around, and then you kind of took this side road up to Zarpool here, where you met with Madame Eva. That all happened right here. And then from there, you pretty much traveled all the way along the winding roads. Kind of you went this way, and this way, and this way. There's the windmill, right here. And then from there, this way, and then this way. So basically, all in all, it is about a full... Realistically, it's a full couple of days swift travel to get back to there. So you're looking at close to the same, depending on the quality of the roads, once you get to Castle Ravenloft. Now, if you recall, when you got to this point here, you saw there was a signpost. One kind of pointed in this direction through the second set of gates, and then the other that pointed kind of up this way, which kind of told you that that is where Castle Ravenloft was. So you know pretty much the way. Even though you've never been, you've seen the signposts and you know more or less where you've got to go.
And was the guy waiting for us, or had he long gone?
So you met the Chamberlain up here, but he was long gone. Now, what he had told you is, when you decide to go, he will know, and he will come meet you. But he didn't say he'd come collect you. He didn't say he would meet you at any particular place. He just said, I'll come meet you. Or the coach will come meet you, or somebody will come meet you. He just alluded to the fact that, whenever you've decided you want to show up, we'll know about it. And at that point, we'll kind of sort of do stuff. So, it's up to you. You want to just sit around town and hope somebody shows up, or you want to just start hoofing it?
We should
Hoof
start
it, I
walking.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. With a good breakfast inside you, what about... Do you have any plans for taking provisions for a couple of days? Are you taking stuff, you gonna hit by the tavern, or you want to go by the general store and pick up stuff?
We stop by the tavern, you'll hook us up.
Yeah, he
The guy
will.
loves
Free
us.
food.
Yeah, he'll definitely... Mardukov will definitely give you some food for the road and a couple of flasks of ale and some water and stuff like that, if that's what you want, just to keep you... They're eternally grateful for you rescuing the vineyard, and also for returning one of the magical gemstones, so that wine will flow yet again. So cool.
Sweet.
Alrighty. Well then, you will pretty much travel all the way from the road. Shortly after, around lunchtime, is when you will get to where you can see the windmill up on the hill. Do you have any interest in that, or?
Kind of, yes, actually.
Yeah. Does it look inhabited right now?
I feel like it
Well,
probably.
Yeah.
So it is turning. The blades are turning, but technically that might happen anyway, just
Well,
because
we-
it's windy.
I thought we burned it down.
Did we?
Didn't
No.
we?
I don't think you burn it down.
No, man.
We didn't, because one of the hags was still alive, right? Like,
No, she disappeared.
she vanished.
Yeah.
Like ran, yeah.
I believe,
And there
if I recall right,
Yeah,
you
Mommy
rescued
had
the kids
creeps
and
away.
bolted. You got out of Dodge fast because you were all beat up bad.
Oh, wait a second. After searching for her, the family decides to torch the windmill, destroying the hag's
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought we did.
Oh,
Yeah, I
well,
was
in
gonna
that
say,
case, then
we pulled a
We
Don
torched it.
Quixote on that.
it's been
shit.
it's been a long time, so I completely forgot. In that case, then yes, there is the remains of a gutted windmill. Let's call it that way.
Hey,
Mhm.
But is it still turning?
this still turns.
Probably not then. Yeah, maybe a couple of the broken pits are just creaking in the wind. Not
Okay.
okay. No, that is right. Actually, now I think about it, you guys did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, I don't even remember that. Nice.
It's over a year ago, game time. So
Yeah, good call.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep.
Like a short walk, isn't it? I don't know if the scale's right.
Hungry?
It should be pretty accurate.
That's not funny, Gemma.
So 3,
And yes, I
about
am.
5 miles of walking. So that would probably be about, just before lunch.
So I'm just doing quick math. Hold on. Man, that's close. That's spooky. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not that far. I mean, the
It's
Barovia
just
itself is
winding
not
and-
very big. A lot of it is the terrain. Like, because, see, 1 square on here equals quarter of a mile. So 4 squares.
Mm.
So, like, from here... Yeah, 4 squares is a mile. That's it.
Yeah.
And walking on these open trails like this, you can get a good thing. Now, once you get to, like, these, it's a little tougher going. So you're
Are
probably
there any
not going
ravens
as
around
quick.
flying around us?
There are not.
Yeah, I left the symbol.
Oh, right. Okay. Keep going then.
Yep.
Yeah,
Alright.
as we pass the old bone grinder, I'm just gonna shiver.
All right, so you'll probably get to that first set of gates late afternoonish. It'll still be light when you get there. Okay. We actually have a map for that. Oh. And let's put you on it. There you go. So yeah, you kind of pass through the huge big gates with the 2 dilapidated statues out front. By now, it is gotten fairly, as it starts to get later, it's begun to get kind of a little, it's not raining or anything by any means, but it is definitely gotten to where the wind is picked up a good bit. There's the fog is pretty dense in this area, and
My portent.
you can see like the little pots, the little crops of
Oh, yeah.
trees and all that are sort of blowing quite blustery in the wind. All right, portent rolls. A 15, not a bad roll to have, and a 9.
It's not a great one.
Not great, but
Okay.
not terrible. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Further down this road, ultimately, you'll get to the 3-way junction where you would go left or northwards to Castle Ravenloft, or southwards if you were going to travel back to the village of Barovia and towards the other gates.
This is spooky.
I am curious to see, like, what kind of likeness these statues are of. That'd probably be giving
Second,
them a look.
turn the wind down a bit. Don't you wish that was a thing?
Yes, I do.
I'm just going to turn the wind down a bit. Hold on. Okay. All right. You asked about the gates of Barovia, yeah? Okay, so the fog spills out to swallow up the road behind and ahead of you. Jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the roads are high stone buttresses looming grey in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusty bars. 2 headless statues of armed guards flank the gates, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you with only silence.
Strahd did that to them.
He knocked their blocks off.
Or do you think they built it headless with the
Well, I mean, you can see the busted pieces of of what would have been their heads about.
Yeah,
Live
I'll
art.
actually inspect when she asks that. Like,
Okay, give me a
how
perception
old
skill
these
roll,
look.
because that's the thing.
Ooh, that's a skill I have. Pretty good.
A 12.
Aw.
Okay. A lot of any significant detail has pretty much been beaten down by the weather over long centuries. So, you can tell that they were supposed to be kind of like big guards or soldiers, but most of the detail is kind of worn flat.
Would I be able to tell about how old this would be, or
Give me a history roll.
it's another one I'm pretty good at.
It would be very difficult to kind of date it accurately, but I mean, we are talking hundreds and hundreds of years. This is very old and ancient sculptures.
Okay. Older than the wall, probably.
Maybe
Same.
maybe not older, but certainly in less state of repair.
So this is about as old as Barovia's curse, then.
Could be.
Oh.
This is old. This is heckin' old. This is old, guys.
It's creepy. I'd like to walk past it. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
Douglas, I would like you to give me a perception skill.
Who, me?
Specifically you,
Okay,
and you have advantage on it.
I do.
Yeah, remember, there's things that happen to you that
Yes.
give you certain
I do.
bonuses on certain things.
Wait, what?
What?
Okay,
Wow,
then, but no, it
great.
escapes you as well.
What?
Cool.
Okay,
Important.
No.
I'm
No.
just kidding.
waste it now. Give me the 9.
9.
But, okay. Okay. Well, soon as you were unaware, suddenly rushing out from the sides of the trees come a small group of individuals. They all kind of like lumbering out, and unless you do anything specific, they pretty much kind of create like a barrier on the road. This fellow up here, the topmost individual, most of them have got face masks like over their kind of covering their noses and their mouths. Most of them, other than a couple, are wearing hoods. They're either armed with rudimentary makeshift clubs or crude swords, but several of them have crossbows on their backs, and they were kind of like pulling those crossbows off and getting them into a ready position as they come rushing out. As soon as they stop in front of you, this fellow here, who, as I said, is kind of wearing... The only thing that distinguishes him, he has a kind of a red hood, whereas the others have all got kind of like brown or greeny tarnished hoods. He will stop once he gets into position, raise a hand to halt the advance of all of his fellows. And then very politely he says, "Go no further. Go back to Vallaki, where you came from."
I'm upon seeing them, I'm gonna back up with my hands kind of outstretched so Gemma gets pushed, kind of shunted backwards with me.
Okay.
Whoa. Because they all like swarm us, right? So it's
yeah, they all like come rushing out from either side, and then
You're
before
like,
you
"Oh,
realize
yeah,
it,
so
there's
I'm
like a
immediately
line
like,
of them
whoa,
across
whoa.
the road. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would instinctively get close to Sathia.
Yeah, I would
Ah,
block.
We mean no harm. We just want to walk the lands. Important
Okay.
mission. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
just a
says,
stroll.
"We know where you're going. You are not to go there and stir up trouble for the rest of us. Turn back now. We mean you no harm, but if you insist on trying to go to the castle, we will have to stop you.
How do you know that's where we're going?
We are fully aware. We have been notified of your intent."
So are you the dog clan then?
The dog clan?
We are
What
not.
the fuck?
Oh,
We are not
there's
common dogs.
I
Let's
wasn't
just
following.
say we are.
Dog clan.
We are concerned citizens of Barovia that do not wish you to cause trouble and agitate he who largely stays and keeps himself to himself.
Sent us an invitation. If we don't show up, he might come looking for us.
Yeah, it'll cause more issues if we don't go. Then
Yeah, he already beat, an asshole half to death back at where we came from. We didn't like him, but he still got his ass beat because we didn't go to the invite.
He
We
says,
didn't RSVP.
the worst thing anyone can do.
all that is going to happen is you pathetic heroes will go to the castle with the intent to destroy the land's lore, destroy he who rules, and when you fail, he will take it out on the rest of us. We have seen this play out many times. We will not allow it to happen this time.
No.
We're just going to talk to him. That's all. Nothing
I'm
else.
Talk to the
going there to write
devil?
a poem.
Are you insane?
At his
Maybe we
demand.
yeah, we have no intention of destroying him when we get there. We're just gonna have dinner.
Then you will be nothing more than willing victims. For if you
He
step
said-
foot in that castle, you will never leave. No one ever does.
Only
will
Sith
become
deal in
food.
absolutes.
Or
But-
playthings of the devil.
But then you don't have to worry about us ever again because we'll
Yeah,
be
just
dead,
let us
you
go
know.
then. Then you don't have to worry about it. He'll be sated for
Oh,
a
well,
while.
if you're killed by him, you usually come back. It's from what I'm understanding.
Shh, Trip.
Well, I mean, they have a valid concern.
Then why
They
don't
deserve
you-
to know?
If you're willingly going to your demise, why take your weapons at all? Give them to us. We will put them to good use in your soon demise.
Prove it.
No.
No, we don't
Simply
need to do that.
no.
Choose your champion.
No.
We'll sing about this.
This is look. You are mistaken. We are not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you. Yeah, he says, we merely want to save you from your own foolishness and prevent disaster falling and wicked vengeance being enacted upon innocent people of Barovia. If he tries to kill you, you will fight. Of course you will fight. Look at you. You are no common folk.
I would ask you to stay this potentially violent act for when it could be channeled to a better purpose. We have allies beyond ourselves. We are doing this out of reconnaissance. Please let us pass.
They kind of all start looking at each other. These allies of yours. So you're saying that you're not going to try to stir up trouble today, but merely get information to stir up trouble tomorrow. Either way,
Not
the
stir up
result
trouble.
will be the same. Just do yourselves and us a favor. Go back. Go back to Vallaki. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the vine while you can. Vallaki is as safe a place as any.
You understand why there's wine in Vallaki?
I have heard the vine is becoming scarce. But seeing as the Martikov family owns a tavern there, I am sure if anywhere has wine, it will be there. We have none left in the village of Barovia. And from what I understand, they have also run dry in Kresk.
Question, sir. If we do as you ask, how does that stop innocent people from succumbing to his wrath or evil or whatever anyway?
In the short term, because, you see, he is a vengeful individual. Anytime anybody tries to dare raise a hand against him, he enacts a terrible vengeance on the villages, on the towns. When the 5 of you are killed trying to defeat him, to teach us a lesson, he will kill 50. 10 for each of you. We cannot risk this happening. I hope you understand.
Wouldn't you rather... Forgive me if this seems insensitive, but if people are going up here to try to stop him, aren't your chances better to let them? Even if you lose people...
No, because...
If no one stops him, he'll just keep doing this forever.
Yes, but better that a handful die each year than dozens upon dozens every time somebody foolishly tries. It would be one thing if it was possible to destroy him, but it is not. There have been
Yet.
countless armies, hordes of villagers, warriors, even a holy bastion of knights of the Morning Lord.
We've met them
All
as well.
failed. Why would you be so arrogant to think that you 5, most of you children, could possibly lift a finger against Strahd von Zorovich?
Okay. So, Octavius did something and then he immediately backed away from it, but I think he should be there to prove... I mean, he's immortal after all.
Oh, okay, wait a second.
I'm gonna nudge Octavius on the shoulder
No,
and be
wait. I don't...
why don't you, challenge your challenge your best fighter?
You mean he cannot die?
Well, test it out. Have him
No,
fight one
I
of
don't-
He
your
is a
own.
member of the undead? And
No,
they all
I
I
like
don't
Not
agree
at all.
with that. No.
with their
we're not
crossbows.
saying that.
And one of you see 2 of them like,
Easy.
Best shot. Take your best shot.
No, put your arms down, Octavius. Arms down. Please. I'm gonna scoot up and try to get in front of him. Like, no.
he says, step back, lad. Let your father do the speaking. You will only get hurt here this day.
You don't want that. Believe me.
You really don't trust me.
He's a bit of a he's a bit skillful and relentless, this child. Look, I appreciate the sentiment of what you're trying to do here. I really do respect what you're saying and your viewpoint, but what I'm trying to get at here is, if you wait just this one-off encounter for us to go and stave his desiring to talk to someone, I don't know exactly what it is he sees in us, we're outsiders after all. If we just wait, there will come a time for a reckoning, and it will be with different terms. I am not about to change the world today. I don't think any of us are.
Chihuahua energy.
It's about right. little things full of bluster. I tell you what, though, chihuahuas are vicious.
So if we just do this
Give
now,
me a persuasion skill roll.
we'll come back. It'll be all right. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Give me a persuasion skill roll there, young trippy my lad.
Okay, here's that. Come on, Schwartz.
20.
Hey, 20.
Okay. He kind of stops, so you see him pause for thought.
If you don't go, he gets mad.
Are you a man of your word?
I'm actually yes.
He goes,
Actually, I could settle that very easily here. I know a spell that makes it so we can only tell the truth.
a spell?
Yes.
Are you Vistani?
Kill him.
Are you...
No, I'm a musician. I play songs and it makes the truth happen.
Who are the
It's
two
weird.
little ones to you? The boy and the girl.
His children.
Siblings, family.
I see. Do you care for them?
Deeply.
Then
They're annoying as hell. and
swear
I
on
love
their
them very
lives that you and the rest of your family do not go to Ravenloft to try to start trouble with the Dark Lord.
much. Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna look at the two of them. You can't start anything, you'll die. I love this.
It's true.
We do not wish to kill you, but you understand we cannot risk having him stirred up. As you have given your word, we will let you pass and travel. But know this, if something happens, if he is enraged and somehow you escape, we will ensure it that you are tracked down and tortured to death in payment for the lives that will be forfeit because of your foolishness. And then with that, he kind of like just waves his hand, and reluctantly, some of them kind of like move out the way to give you the road.
That's fair, that's justice.
He
Yes.
says, then go. But mark my words, you step into the house of the devil himself. Go with the graces of the Morning Lord. Perhaps you may find yourself alive the next morning. Pray that if you do not, that you find swift death, for the alternative is far worse.
Speak my language.
Okay?
Thank you.
And they all kind of like watch you go by, and all of them are like,
Is that like north, south, east, western sunbeam? I'm
yeah.
confused.
Yep, you know.
Morning Lord bless you all.
Okay.
Stake my soul against the will of the Morning Lord. If I am to lie here, damnation be upon me. Let's go! I don't want to talk to these guys anymore.
All right. Well, after managing to avoid getting into a ruckus with strange folk,
Concerned citizens.
by the time you make it this far to the junction itself, here in Barovia, as I said, it was late afternoon. Here in Barovia, it gets pretty dark pretty quick, as well you know. And it is already darkening by the time you make it to the crossroads itself. When you get here, you can tell that the road to the north once was actually paved and cobbled, whereas now it seems more or less just kind of cracked and overgrown. And it's about this time that the wind, while it continues, is joined by other wisps of fun nature. And where are you? There we are. and in the faint distance you can hear the rumbling of thunder.
You should probably... I suppose it might be storming all the time here.
It tends to happen quite frequently.
We
Is it-
find a place to hunker down from the wind.
Looks like there's a bit of a shelter up ahead.
Off the path itself, if you... I mean, you can definitely make out some kind of like rudimentary structures back down there.
At least shield
Check
us
that
from the
out.
wind.
It's
By the glances, they may shield you from the wind, although probably not the rain that's starting.
Don't have many better options.
we
Alice.
have tarp.
Tarp.
Sold all the wolf pelts. I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna head to that shelter as the weather picks
Okay.
up.
Yep, by all means. Move yourselves in that direction.
Thanks, Seth.
Seth's admiring this large rock up here.
It's a very large rock. It
Well, I mean,
reminds me of his nickname.
I don't want to move too fast too quickly. You know?
Hey, I'll tell you to stop when bad things happen. It's okay.
I want to stop before that happens.
We're at a crossroads.
Okay, yeah. So here, right here on the corner, you can see a busted sign. One arrow pointing south to the village of Barovia, one pointing northwest, and that says Valaki, and then one underneath that once said Castle Ravenloft, and now it has been scratched out, and just the words hell have been carved into the sign instead over top of it.
Have we ever been on this map before? I mean, I'm asking.
You have not been on this map before, but you have been. You
Oh,
came
on this route.
Yeah, you
okay.
came up this way and then went that way last time.
Because I'm trying to remember when was it Douglas who had that vision
Yeah,
of someone
Douglas
dead,
had that, yeah.
like in a cage or something? That was somewhere else, right? I mean, that was
That
I
was
did.
by the windmill, I think.
by the
We
windmill.
saw-
There was the crossroads that led you up. There was a crossroads when you went up to where Madame Ava was at Czar's Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There was
okay,
that
okay.
gallows, and
Right,
one of you seemed to think that the person hanging dead on the gallows looked like you.
I
Okay.
think it was Douglas.
Yeah, Doug thought he was there hanging
That's
for a
right.
moment.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure because
Forgot about that.
there was another
Remember
crossroads.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was not here.
Got it. Makes sense. All right.
Do we have Are we missing somebody?
Oh,
One of you is probably standing on top of.
Doug's
Trip.
seen him do
There it is.
himself.
Yeah. There it is.
That's I remember that now. Okay.
Emma's seen her.
Yeah. Over here, as I said, off the road, further to the east, you can see some very rudimentary, dilapidated ruins of an old stone building. But it is clearly in serious disarray, and it has been here for a very long time. All of the stonework is kind of rounded, and much like those statues, is kind of moth-worn and weather-worn down.
Not a circle, right?
It is not a stone circle, no.
Based on how the wind is going, I would find a corner to like.
Yeah, if you sit yourselves in this far southeast corner, that's giving you the best shelter, probably. Actually, no, it's probably this corner here. I lie, the northernmost corner.
Damn it, Gore.
Yeah, because the wind is blowing this way. So,
Okay.
is Douglas and Octavius staying on the road for a reason, or are you?
No, we're
Nope.
going into.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Shift your butts
Yeah.
over then. Okay. Yeah, that does indeed offer you some cover from the wind. Again, it doesn't do a whole lot to protect you from the rain. Because the wind is blowing from east to west, though, the rain is kind of slanting as it was. So it does offer, if you're really all the way up against the wall, it certainly is keeping some of the rain off of you. Because the rain isn't really coming straight down, it's kind of angling at this point, because the wind is blowing it pretty hard.
Well, this is nice.
It's quite a home we've built here.
Do you wish to do anything, or just kind of all hunker down and just do your best to shelter?
Let's
Any
survive the
fires? Any? Does anybody have any kind of large cloth or anything you want to try to make a?
We have a couple cloaks, but I don't know if I might be able to fit like Octavius under my cloak. I don't.
We do have weather gear, so at least I got my raincoat.
No, you do have some light wax clothing, yeah. Okay. Alrighty.
Sister, are you able to make some sort of a flame source?
You mean real one or some fake one?
Well, preferably real in the situation would be nice.
We could try to light some stuff on fire.
Fire! Well, I mean, you passed a bunch of dead trees as you were kind of walking over here.
Oh yeah, that's my cue. Give me a moment.
I'm sure it's all very wet.
I can light a small campfire.
Dad, come get some wood with me. Come on.
Yes, I will stand watch. I will escort you.
Gina, come get some ham.
Yeah, get some dinner.
Okay, so Trip, you're going to go and gather up some of the broken wood.
I got my hand axe back. I'm just chopping what I can off it to make some twigs out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's. I mean, you can gather up plenty around the base of the tree, and then if you want to kind of bust some off branches and stuff, you can. There's plenty of firewood here. Douglas, give me a survival skill roll.
Okay.
Okay. It does indeed strike you a little odd, knowing that there is no town or village within easy distance of this place where you are right now. It does seem a little odd that you don't see any kind of like burnt out marks or anything where people have tried to make campfires or camp here before. That there's no sign that anybody has ever tried to do such a thing. The ground itself is relatively undisturbed, as it were.
Okay, I'll relay that to Seth. Kind of just... Huh. This doesn't look like been touched.
I'm gonna look around and hearing his words. I mean, not even those guys who stopped us at the gate, huh?
No.
Certainly doesn't look like anybody has actually spent any time messing around in these old ruins.
That doesn't go well.
Maybe they just all made it up there in one go.
Maybe no one wants to be this close to the castle.
Maybe they don't last long enough to stay this close.
That was dark, Father.
The lightning's behind me.
I'm gonna come back with the wood and use prestidigitation to dry it.
Okay. Of course, I think your sister might have a pretty good way of...
So, I guess I'll take first watch.
I mean, Octavius is still out there watching, I think.
All right, if you're going to try to light a campfire here, normally I wouldn't make you roll, but seeing as everything is kind of soaked wet and through at this point, give me a survival skill roll, if you will, Douglas.
Okay.
To see if you can actually get any of this. Prestidigitation will make it certainly possible.
Tells me I can light a fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Certainly not the quickest fire that you've managed to ignite in your days, but, you know, by pulling some of the moss out from underneath some of the stones and stuff that's kind of dry, you're able to get yourself a little kindle bundle and eventually get things going. Papoose.
That's nice.
Okay. Yeah, so before too long, you've got yourself a little campfire. How big you want to make it? I mean, you just want like a small one for a little bit of warmth and cook anything? Or do you want like a big one that's going to be nice and
think
cozy?
The minimal amount.
Okay.
can
So just like a small...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to
to
alert.
keep
Try to avoid... Yeah, so you don't have a huge bonfire blazing in the night for all to see.
Right.
I do have a class action I'd like to use here.
Lawsuit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a class action. It's a class action. But I'd like to see if I can't use my divine sense to just make sure this place isn't totally evil.
Evil.
Evil. Okay. So the presence of strong evil registers on your senses as noxious odors and powerful good rings like heavenly music. So basically that pretty much lets you either figure out whether there are celestials, fiends, undead, or whatever. Within 60 feet. No, you're not really picking up anything untowards. Nothing nasty, but nothing good either in the immediate vicinity.
That's good, because generally ruins have things.
I absolutely love that divine sense for the entire D&D handbook has
Has the
Strahd
name
in
of our
it.
adversary
I
in
know.
it, yeah.
it's like, just so you know.
You can't use this to locate
Not
Strahd.
immune.
Dipping in Paladin is not that useful. Do it if you
Should
can
we
help
ever
it.
write a campaign with, I don't know, a character that we're going to call this? Yeah. Yeah. Bottom line is, you
Help
can
me
tell
locate
that
tombs,
there's bad,
but
but you
not
can't
my
tell the
name.
bad's name.
You can tell there's a tomb, but you can't tell it's, say, the
Does
Tomb
it-
of Annihilation.
Does it sense does it sense really bad, but a bit more bad than the normal amount of bad that I might get from, say, a typical vampire?
Does he seem like a cuck?
Okay. All right. Well, by now it has started to get dark. The weather has gotten worse, not better. The thunder and lightning is crashing a little more, and you're kind of glad, and you can hear in the faint distance the howling of wolves and unpleasant things roaming around in the dark, which you've become all too
Dog
accustomed
clan.
for.
I hate the dog clan.
First watch, you say, Seth.
Yeah.
Okay. How many watches are there, and who's doing them?
Well, I'm going to watch for 15 minutes, and then everyone else will get a couple hours, right?
Yeah, it's really up to the person doing watch. How
yeah,
long
yeah.
their watch is.
I'll do like a 4-hour watch into the night. Like,
Guys, you don't want me doing watch. I'll just say that.
Gore,
I'm not-
4 hours.
Not the best
Okay.
watcher here.
I will
Alright.
definitely take a watch as well.
I'm fidgety.
Who's second? So is Douglas is basically Seth is gonna like kick Douglas awake
Parents.
about 4 hours later.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm going to kick him away now.
All right.
Hey.
Okay.
I'll volunteer next if you need me. But
Volunteer as tribute. Alrighty. In that case, Douglas,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to make a perception skill roll. It is a hearing-based skill roll.
Oh boy, come on, Dougie.
Not Seth. Douglas.
Yeah. What are you
Oh.
doing?
You're
responding to
Seth. You're Seth.
that? You can do
Okay.
it.
You're Seth.
Wait, who's rolling?
He said
Douglas!
Douglas!
Seth is asleep. It's
But
second watch.
But I
Supposed
was
to
first
confuse.
watch.
Yeah, it's the
Now
second
I'm
watch.
confused.
That's why I said it's Douglas
Oh,
roll.
okay. That's why I was confused, because I was
Don't be
sequentially-
jelly.
is everything shaggy.
I just wanted to roll.
Hey, look. The only reason Seth knows
What
that
do you
that's
call
his name is because people
Motherfucker, I
shouted
haven't
at him all
rolled
day. Okay, so
Okay, you said perception?
yes, please.
A normal one, not.
It is hearing based. Did you write down notes? Let me
Did I write down notes?
I think it was smell
I think I have
and
smell.
smell for sure.
smell and hearing. It's
can
not
smell and
eyesight,
hear.
right? I mean, it's like a dog.
And I'm trying to remember if it was vision or hearing.
Dogs are
my
better
notes?
hearers than seers.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, dogs are dumb at seeing.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
I'm
kind of
pretty
fun.
sure it was smells and hearing.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking for. I have it all written down. In
I
my...
think it smells and hearing, bro.
Makes one of us.
Well, then, let's assume that it is, and you have advantage then, because it would be
Advantage
hearing.
on smell and hearing.
Yeah.
I totally had that written down.
Do you?
Yeah, see?
Going.
Good.
See, there it is.
Good. So you would have advantage on this
Okay,
because you're listening. Your somehow strangely dog-like ears are...
Yes. Oh, a lot of good
You're
at today.
fucking kidding me.
Good lord.
I got ham in my ears.
Okay.
Poor 10! Poor 10!
She's sleeping.
She's asleep.
Yet!
Can't take it off of her.
Okay. Fair enough then.
Cool.
Your night.
One of your children is missing.
You wake up and everyone else is dead. No. And you have blood all over the end of your spear.
Oh no.
Not again.
Okay. After 4 hours, are you gonna wake Trip up?
Yes, I will.
Alrighty. So then Trip gets 4 hours. Is Trip waking anybody else up, or is he gonna persevere throughout until it starts to get daylight?
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely wake up Gemma if I'm getting too tired, but I'm pretty sure I just slept 8 hours, so...
Okay. Alright. So yeah, by now, in your reckoning... It's like, yeah, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning then. So it's still impurely dark. I will let you give me a perception skill roll, but of course you don't have advantage because you have no special inherent ability.
But I do have expertise, so maybe it'll work out.
Nope!
Oh!
It won't.
Maybe it'll work.
Wow.
Maybe I should have stood watch.
Right?
I was gonna say,
Oh my
the
god.
rest of us are not sharp
Okay.
tonight.
Oh, jeez.
My passive is 19. What the hell?
Is your passive
I tried-
19?
Yeah, if I
Oh, well,
wasn't
then if I'd
paying
have known
attention,
it
it
was...
would be fine.
If I'd have... if I'd have known it was 19...
Yeah, no, my passive perception is... Oh, sorry, that's my investigation. My passive perception is 21. My passive investigation is 19. I took a feat. I can also read lips if that's ever handy.
Okay. So in that case, then, I wouldn't need you to roll the dice. You
Okay,
are
well, then I
perceptive
didn't
enough
roll.
to know this.
I never roll.
Okay. You will hear when the wind is at its lowest and and between the claps of thunder, you will actually hear in the faint distance a sound that sounds like this.
Bone horse.
Oh,
That's horsey noise.
That sounds like the coach. I'm gonna peer around towards the castle, assuming that's probably where it's at.
Okay, yep. You kind of peer around the side of the wall and pulled off to the side of the road.
Oh my god.
Has been there for quite a few hours. Is a
God
coach
damn it.
with 2 large horses attached to it, and hooded lanterns on the sides. It is sitting there, silent and quiet, in the night.
Just like out loud, so
Yeah, I
everybody
think Douglas would have
hears.
smelt that, right? Or heard
I'm
that.
I
gonna.
think.
I'm going to first wake up Gemma because I know
What's
she
your
likes knowing
passive
things.
perception, Douglas?
Mine is 16.
Oh, well, so you probably noticed it as well then.
Aw. Well, I didn't know I needed a passive.
For the story beats, I'm gonna wake up Gemma first because she likes knowing things. I'm gonna be
But
like,
arguably, it doesn't matter, so,
yeah. And I'm gonna
you
point
know
out and
it's
be
there
like,
now.
Do you want to claim that you know something, or is it okay if I wake everyone up? I know you like knowing things.
Let you have this.
Okay. Hey everybody. It's like he said. He knows we're coming. The coach is over there. We could get a ride.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Don't have to weather the storm anymore. Let's go.
That must have showed up just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel sure I'd have heard a
I
coach.
definitely would have smelt it.
I'm
Figure
gonna roll my
it's,
new portents too.
It's still the same day.
Oh, I thought it was the next day.
No,
Yeah, it was
but
like
you
the
can have
early
them for
morning,
later. You might as well roll them because before you need them next, they'll apply. 17 and a 12. Okay, write those down. Okay.
Write that down in your copybooks now.
Done.
Yeah, Doug just wanted y'all to get a good night's sleep before. That's it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a coach there, but I'm going to let them rest here quietly in the rain instead.
I'm waving.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to.
Nobody waves back, but that might well be because nobody is sitting on the coach.
Ooh.
Maybe they decided,
approaching.
"Oh, fuck sitting out here in the rain, I'm getting in the dry."
I figure. So, but I am like waving as I approach.
Okay. Other than the flickering of the lights on the side of the coach in the stormy weather, seems to be, other than the horses, no sign of activity.
I'm gonna get about here before I turn around and look to see if my family's following me.
Gemma
Just
is
Gemma.
gingerly following you, but everybody else is still probably trying to wake up.
Kevin.
Douglas is doing the responsible ranger thing and stamping out the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only you.
Once you get all the way up, the coach itself has little black drapes hanging down on the inside, so you can't actually peer into the coach itself without kind of pulling those aside.
I go rapping and tapping my knuckles on the door.
Okay. You do so, but there is no reply from within, only the faint of one of the horses.
I suppose we just. I'm gonna kind of pry the
Octavius
door.
gets in.
Oh my
Octavius
god!
just gets in.
Okay.
Oh my god!
You climb inside the coach. At one point,
He's like really drowsy, you know. He doesn't really know what he's doing.
at one point, this coach would have been the height of luxury for nobility. It has red velvet interior with like black velvet accents. There is kind of gold filigree around some of the frames, and all in all, if it wasn't for the fact that it is a little old and not very well repaired and maintained, it would be luxury travel.
This coach sucks.
I clamber in after him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's
Rub the
enough
velvet
room
with my
for...
hands, like,
You can fit about, 3 people on one side and 3 people on the other, so there's enough room for you guys quite easily.
I don't know.
Okay.
This is pretty nice.
It's an XL. That
Oh, can I drive?
cost a few
And
extra.
and it's dry. Huh?
Do you think I could?
So,
can I
Seth, you
drive?
climbed in, right?
Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Sit out there and wait for him.
He's over behind a tree taking a piss. Hey! You stole my coach, you bastard!
I'm gonna sit in the driver's seat.
Okay.
Even though it's like still raining.
Alright.
I've always wanted to drive one of these.
So everybody's inside, huh? And you're sitting up top?
No, we're underneath it.
Yep. Okay, well, the reins are there. I mean, you can pick up the reins if you wish, Trip.
I'm gonna give it just like a little like I don't see him. I don't feel him.
Well, as soon as the door closes, as you about to reach forward and pick up the reins, off the thing bolts anyway.
Oh dang!
And
Just gonna claim I'm doing this.
off down the road,
Great
the
job.
black coach travels. Alrighty. It travels for a few hours at quite a disturbing pace. You can kind of still see the flashing of lightning, but you are very aware that you are on a steady climb up at this point. The wind is getting increasingly more violent as the night progresses. The thunderstorm itself is becoming more and more virulent. And the wind is starting to kind of blow in from the right side of the carriage, pushing the little black drape aside. As it does so, you notice that you're hurtling along the side of a mountain road. It is a sheer drop to the right, and a casual glance down looks like there is probably no more than a couple of inches between the edge of the wheels and the drop. Anybody noticing this? It is very, very disconcerting, because at any moment, one wheel could slip off the side of the road and the entire coach could go crashing down the mountain, at which point now it looks like it's a considerable drop. In fact, in the dark, you certainly cannot see the bottom.
Would you believe this is my first time driving a carriage?
Oh yeah, I forgot, you're up front. So yeah, it's probably, I don't know how brave you are, but as soon as you have now realized, or at least have come to the terms that you are not driving the carriage. You are holding the reins and the horses are doing their thing. You are merely there as a hood ornament. But seeing it rear up around those curves, and like some of them are really sharp, and you're probably going, no, slow down, ah! And then it's like careens round the side and barely avoids flying off the edge. At this point, you're probably hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, I feel like Trip would eventually kind of slip out of the idea of mortality and into the idea that whatever happens, happens.
Please don't let me die. Oh, please don't let me die. Morning, Lord. I've just turned to you. Please don't let me die. Okay.
This is one way to a tune. If only I had it.
Okay. Where are we? Okay. I want. Okay. Eventually, as the road continues in the faint distance, you can hear the playing of church organs echoing against the night. As the lightning strikes, it illuminates a dark, foreboding shape ahead of you. A multi-tiered castle, once a glorification of architecture, and now a somewhat diminished form of what former glory once was.
That means he has an organ!
So happy.
Okay.
Right through, right past the bridge.
As it continues up the road, it slowly begins to steady itself and slow down as the road widens, giving you a little more purchase on the road itself. Out and ahead of you, you can see what appears to be two large towers, in front of which is a massive expanse that just drops down to nothing. An old wooden drawbridge with two gigantic iron chains holding it in place rests ahead of you. Slowly, the cart reaches it, and then at a very slow and steady click-clock, 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 it begins to cross the drawbridge. Trip, glancing down the side, all you can see below the bridge itself is mist and just abyss. Like, obviously, it's a sheer drop. That's when you kind of notice that the castle itself is separate from the mainland. There is a huge chasm that separates it from any of the adjoining landmass. Slowly, it creaks across. All of you in the carriage now can hear and creaks and groaning of the old and ancient wooden drawbridge as it struggles and strains to support the weight of the carriage itself. You even notice that the horses are veering slightly to avoid broken sections and parts that have already fell through and are missing. At this point, you cross over and through two huge iron gates. This leads you into a huge courtyard. As you pass through the gates, Trip, you can see huddled in the rain is a single lone figure with like a thick, fat-coated leather cloak holding a hooded lantern in kind of a hunched fashion. And he's waving it left and right as if he's trying to gain the attention of the horses.
I'm going to steer the reins in that direction as if that does anything.
Yep, because, you know, that's your job, right? That's what you're doing. You're driving. Okay. Eventually, the coach kind of pulls up and turns itself sideways. The figure hobbles forward with his hand that is unencumbered. He reaches up, clasps the door handle, and swings it open. The four of you inside the coach are greeted with a hunched figure who has a long, kind of oversized rain kind of coat hanging over him. As I said, it's like thick leather that has been waxed down with animal fat to keep the weather off. It has quite a pungent smell, or at least something here does, for sure. As you get there, the figure says,
This way, this way. Welcome guests to Castle Ravenloft.
Is that Igor?
No, that's my brother. He serves a different vampire lord.
Oh,
Pleasure to be here. You.
Come, let us get you out of the rain.
it's bad gore.
Get out then.
okay,
I ain't,
let
I
me
ain't
gather
seen none
you.
of that guy.
Let me gather you some tokens of worth.
Wait, that's shitty.
Hold on. Okay, there you all are. Okay, thick, cold fog swirls around this courtyard. The sporadic flashes of lightning lance the weeping clouds overhead as the thunder shakes the ground. Through the drizzle, you can see the flames flattering of your new-found welcomers' lamplight. Warm light spills out of a large entranceway flooding the courtyard. High above the entrance is a round window with shards of broken glass lodged into its frames. With that, he kind of turns and says to you,
Come inside. I have been sent to fetch you.
Much obliged.
and he turns and wanders through the large, thick, open doors into Castle Ravenloft. He holds the door open just ajar, and with his lantern hand beckons you enter. The coach heads off all by itself.
I made it do that.
Again,
Loaded on the
inside the castle, you can hear the playings of a large and virulent church organ. Trip, obviously, whoever is playing is clearly someone of significant talent at the instrument itself. Okay. Anybody want to not go through the door, or?
I'm gonna mutter a prayer first, but yeah, I'll go in.
And we're entering.
We're going.
Okay. You enter through the door, and as the last of you does so, he pushes the door shut with his boot with a resounding boom as the heavy oak doors come crashing down. Before you, you see stuff that will be described to you next session, because that's where we're going to stop tonight.
Yeah, but
Oh, and stick around to the very end, because there's one thing that I'm going to run, because we've only run it once, and we need to run it a second time for you guys. So,
well, time for a beer.
just chill, just for a minute.
Oh, hello there. It's me, Christy, your D&D dad. I'm here to do all the things that a good D&D dad should do, like mow the lawn, fix some shit, drink a beer, and of course, roll lots of 20s. And if you like all this, can you pan?
Oh, sorry, Dad. Sorry. Yeah, you look good. Yeah.
You should check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Christastics. And if you like D&D content, check out my podcast, New Crits on the Block. Anyway, I love you, my children.
If you're seeing this, that means that I'm back to playing Mondays on How Reroll. My handle is Satchmo on all platforms, and if you follow me, then maybe I can...
We've been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty.
Nothing! Hi, is this my local zoologist? Yes, I'll hold. Hi, local zoologist. Yes, my name is Jane Ivana, and I'm looking for a snake that has a stinger. Yes. I'll hold. You don't have any? Alright, well, if you could look into it, you can contact me on Twitter at Jane on Twitch, that's with a 0. Anytime. Yeah, or you could catch me on my Twitch streams. I stream like once a week on twitch.tv/JaneIvana. Alright, I'll hold. Okay, thank you. Goodbye, local zoologist.
Hey everyone, it's the Snuggler. This year, Jane asked us to go quick on our outros, so I promise I'll go as fast as possible. You're just gonna put all my information on text on the screen, aren't you? Son of a...
Hey, twitch.tv/Shagget here, and I'm trapped in Barovia. I'm hiding in a dingy basement with some art, the art dingy basement, nothing like what you usually see on my webcam when I do streams on How Reroll. And I'm not hiding from Strahd. Believe it or not, he's a pushy Dracula knockoff. He doesn't scare me. I'm not afraid of him. I'm actually hiding from Gorebad, my dungeon master. He's out to kill me. I think finally surviving in 10 campaigns in Arconis throughout his stories, he snapped because of it. And because of that, he's out to really kill me this time. contact me at @neb_convos on Twitter, please. Your support will help keep me alive, keep me on the run, keep my hope alive. I really need to see what happens to Radovan, Emlyn, and Alekma, and all my other characters that I played. I really need to see what happens to them. I'm very curious. Oh shit, I messed up. I really messed up. I think he heard me. He's coming. See ya!
Hi there, I'm Gorebad, and thank you for watching How We Roll. If you'd like to keep up with us when we're not live on Twitch, you can check out our other forms of social media. Follow us on Twitter @HowWeRoll. You can also follow our Facebook page. You can find the website at www.howweroll.com, and you can also find us on YouTube at, you've guessed it, How We Roll, for an absolute ton of additional content. Also, you can follow the dmblog.com for some DM tips, world building guides, and all things D&D related. Cheers, guys. That was a long walk. Okay, they said Shagget was somewhere here, and the door to where he's hiding was a blue door. So we gotta find a blue door, blue door, blue door, blue door. You're mine now, Shagget.